Dad is at it again, but Bean ain't here, so we're playing with friends.
You kill these things.
You get nothing from those, do you?
50 XP. It's pretty good for pretty much... I'm getting kind of pushed around here because there are two of them, but... They take as many hits as the final boss of the game does. Corresponding to whatever your attack power is.
So it's 96 for...
It's 96 if you have one attack. Yeah.
I remember that number. So now that you have... How much attack? 4.
It's not, like I said, there's not like an algorithm behind it. It's not like, oh, just divide it by this number.
It's probably like 90.
It's sort of just arbitrary based on how far I think they figured you progress in the game. This probably has been helping my speedrun, is it?
Fuck it, who cares, dude?
I care.
So, Brian and I were supposed to record Sonic 06 today, fun fact. What was the last Sonic game you played, Chris?
Probably too busy fucking some guy's girlfriend to
do
that.
Mine. What was the last Sonic game you played in your entire...
Last one I played?
Yeah.
Like, you mean chronologically, or like in my personal life?
In your personal life, like the last time you touched a Sonic game.
It was probably...
Back in 04?
Sonic R, which is part of like a Gems collection.
Yeah, I've absolutely played Sonic R. When did you play Sonic R?
Oh, that was probably years ago, probably around like 2005, 2006. Because we had it because it was part of a collection, so we just tossed it in.
So you haven't played Sonic since 2006?
Not really, no. I mean, I may have picked up like one of the old platformers like for a moment, but...
Yeah, I know.
I played another good one is Mean Bean Machine.
Beam Run?
Isn't that the Tetris one? Or
Well,
Tetris
it's there's a name for it. I don't know. I'll probably get slayed by your savvy comment section, but
oh yeah,
it got a Nintendo release called Kirby's Avalanche, which is also awesome because Kirby's like the #1 shit talker in Dreamland. He can speak in that game, so it's really like just like savage. I guess someone from Adam's generation might put it.
Oh, my generation.
Will not let me. What? What were we just talking about?
You're talking about Sonic games.
Oh, right. Because Brian and I have been playing through Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 for probably 6 months now. I mean, we played it for 2 nights in a row, and then didn't play it for about 6 months, and then we just recently picked it up again. The reason we didn't play anymore was because so there in the Sonic Adventure 1 there are 100 and I want to say 30 or 40 emblems. I think it's 140 emblems, and to get an emblem is just basically like an achievement, whatever you want to call it. Like you just get X amount of stuff. It's just a collectathon, whatever the fuck. It's like golden bananas in Donkey Kong 64. You get
or Jiggies and Banjo-Kazooie.
There we go. Shout out to Bean, by the way. Banjo-Kazooie.
Probably gonna die here, but whatever. This boss, by the way, is Helmet Head. He has helmets that fire at you. And in the manual, I actually didn't realize this till years later. There's a picture, like a drawn artist rendition of like Link fighting this guy, and he's like a giant, 60-foot tall statue shooting at like a blazing flame at you, and this is what he is in the game.
Oh, you actually made your name Chris.
Just for clarity.
People are gonna find you.
What are they gonna do? Hang out with me?
Ooh. So... Oh, the camera died. Camera died.
Do we have to start over?
We gotta start all the way over.
There we go.
So... fuck me. So, yeah, me and Brian are playing through Sonic Adventure in Adventure 2, and we have 109 emblems now in Sonic Adventure 1 out of 140. And then we have like 80 something in Sonic Adventure 2, and there's 180 in Sonic Adventure 2, so we need like 100 more. And
when you get them all, there's like a Yoshi you talk to, right?
there's what Sonic games do, I don't know if they do it anymore, but these two games do. Once you 100% the game, you are given some kind of Easter egg, basically. And for the first game, you get Metal Sonic's story, which is literally just Sonic's story, but you play as Metal Sonic. And then the second game, you get Green Hill Zone as a level, which is fucking awesome. And that's basically what we're playing these games for. And then after we beat Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, we gotta beat Generations, which is a great game, and then Lost World, which is a shit game, and then Sonic 4, which is also a piece of shit.
Sonic 4?
Sonic 4.
Is that a sequel to Sonic 3?
That is a sequel to Sonic 3.
Ben.
And I guess it's absolutely fucking terrible. But we're gonna 100%.
Remember that skate game?
Skate?
No. Like back in the day on the GameCube.
Tony Hawk's.
No. It wasn't like a skate game. It was like a
Snowboarding? SSX Tricky?
no. It's skating. You had to like fight robots. It was like skating, rollerblades,
Fucking Rocket Power?
something like that. It was a show too.
Rocket Power.
Yeah, Rocket Power.
That was a fucking great game. That game was so good. That game was.
It's better than the show.
Did you ever play Tak and the Power of Juju?
Yeah, I was going to
what?
say that the Easter egg they had, the tack was in the woods just randomly.
Yeah, and you'd run away. Tak and the Power of Juju, never played it?
No, I can't say I have.
It's a game. I mean, I'm pretty
I
sure it
used
was
to
on
love-
Game Boy as well.
I used
But
to
it was
love that game.
it was a Game Boy. It was a GameCube game that was. It's just a platformer, just a basic platformer. But Brian got the first one. The only reason I know about this, I bet a lot of people don't. But the only reason I got the game was because Brian had the first one, and there were 3 of them, and I got the second one. And the second one's long as fuck, and I barely got through halfway of it. Halfway.
I'm pretty sure
of
I
it.
beat that.
Halfway into it. No, the game goes on for a while, and then the third game we never didn't really touch because it was kind of bad. But
The game got a show.
yep, and the game got a show, and the show was absolutely terrible. So now people think the game is terrible as well.
How does that happen?
Fucking
Doesn't that happen to Battletoads? Like, it got a show.
did it get a show?
Yeah, it did.
And did the show do poorly?
Well, it had a pilot.
Is that why? And is that why the Battletoads is like a meme now?
I think so.
Because
I'm not sure. What is it a meme for? Like, what is it usually used in?
so there is a joke. The only way I know the joke is you call up. This is the joke. This is the whole joke. I'm telling you right now. You call up GameStop or wherever you buy your games from, EB Games, whatever. If you're in Canada, you say, "Hey, do you have Battletoads?" And that's the joke.
Sounds like a meme.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. I've played the game. It's a super fun game. It's an amazingly fun game,
Yeah, it is.
and I don't understand why.
Well, it is hard. It's kind of like the poster child game for like what are called NES difficult games.
NES typical.
Yeah, like, difficult because of their sort of obscurity and like situations which are almost impossible to play mechanically.
Oh
I guess.
yeah. Got you.
But it does have a reputation for being very hard, but it's also extremely playable at the same time, which is what really makes it so fiendish, is because you can't ever win, but you're always coming back to it's not like difficult like, oh man, I don't want to play this anymore. It's more like I'm so close. This game is so
It's like an Angry Birds, Flappy Bird kind of game. Right? It's that
probably.
Do you know how? I know it's not Flappy Bird, but you know how? Do you know why the game Flappy Bird was so popular? Do you understand the concept of it?
No.
So Flappy Bird, for anybody who doesn't know, was a game where you literally tap.
What is it called? Flappy Bird?
Flappy Bird, where you literally tap the screen, and it would make your bird hop.
Oh, that's
through.
kind of like is that where they got Balloon Fight from? Like the same idea? Have you played Balloon Fight?
That's an old game, isn't it?
Yeah.
This was very, very recent that I'm talking about.
Oh, well, Balloon Fight kind of has like the same physics mechanic in it.
Well, you gotta get basically go through hoops or not hoops. Like little. There's 2 pipes, and you gotta go through the holes between the pipes. There's like a little opening between the pipes. And the reason that game was so popular is because you'd get far, quote unquote far, and you get to say 76 points, which means you went to the openings, 76 different openings. The reason the game was so popular is because you got like you just keep getting farther and farther because you get a hang of the game, and it has some kind of weird dopamine release. I did some research on it.
We don't research anything here.
Yeah, we don't research anything here. But it was like you got like a weird dopamine release from getting an extra point or getting a little bit farther. So you keep playing it, so you could keep getting farther and keep getting farther. And I think that's similar to what you were just talking about, which I forgot what it was, but it was relevant when I was thinking of it.
Like, how long ago in the conversation was it?
It was about the typical whatever, like how it wasn't extremely hard and you didn't want to play it, but it was
hard
enough that you
Battletoads
want-
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't really like a point system in that game.
Yeah.
It's more just like it's fun to run because one of the things about these games is like the actual physics of it. Like the feeling, the kinesthetic feeling of like moving the characters around is like a really big part of the appeal for me anyway. Like it just feels good to run.
It's like a tight controlled game.
Yeah, it's like kind of like almost like it's kind of a geeky comparison, but it's almost like driving a car that controls really well. It's just fun to drive because you can just run and feel free and stuff. And games like this are kind of like that too. And Battletoads is one of those games that does it well. And
Battletoads was originally on the NES, right?
Yep.
Was that the original release, the NES?
Yep. And it was made by what was called at the time
Rareware. Yep. And now Rareware shit. Thanks, Rareware.
You're just bitter because of
Nuts and bolts.
Yeah, nuts and bolts.
This video is sponsored by Rare Limited Liability Company HQ. Thanks Rareware for being such a fantastic support to Ben² with a guest.
Hey, you know what, dude? They made like some of your favorite games ever, and now you're you're ragging on them because they made like a game that was like not so great.
They did. They made all of their sequels have been bad though. I've never played one. Sorry, I can't say that. That's not true. All of their modern, quote unquote, sequels have been bad. Like, so you've played Perfect Dark 1, yes?
Yeah.
Have you played Perfect Dark 0?
I have not, but I have not heard good things about it.
I enjoyed it when I was in, I don't know, 2008, 2009. Play it now and I want to fucking kill myself. Because that game is so slow, so sluggish, it makes you want to shoot your brain out. Where the first one was like fast-paced action, you get to kill this guy, you get to go here, you get to do that. The second game is completely different. Like it almost kind of asks you to do stealth, but not really. But it's just slow. Nuts and bolts. What the fuck is that? Nobody can play Banjo-Kazooie or the ultimate game, like the ultimate sequel, Banjo-Tooie, and think that fucking Banjo Nuts and Bolts was a good idea. I played the game. It's like I understand where they got the idea that would be a good idea from. I completely get that. This is just going to get to me just rambling about Banjo Nuts and Bolts.
Well, ramble away. We can edit it in post.
I can understand 100% where they got the cars thing from. I can understand where they got the quests thing from. There's quests in the game. That's how you get around. I don't understand why they had to make it a fucking Banjo game. Why would they slap the Banjo name on that game and ruin it? They fucking ruined it. That game was Banjo 1 and 2. You explored. The music was great. Everything about the Banjo games.
Not even the music was great in that game. Jeez.
The music was. It was okay. It wasn't that good. It was very okay. And the problem with Nuts and Bolts though is more that you don't really explore. It's kind of the thing about that made that exploring in Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie so good was that you kind of had different terrains to deal with. Like the first level of Banjo-Kazooie was like a little hill, and on top of it was Mumbo. You got to fuck with ants. You got to go inside. You got to go inside things and climb things.
Yeah.
The
people were like talking. Characters were like talking to you all the time.
And then you'd go into the goddamn ant. Go into the ant hill if you want to call it that.
There were termites, not ants.
The termites. If you go into the termite hill, the guy will be like, "Hey, what are you doing in here? You look weird." Like that was amazing because there would be so many different things to talk to, and Conker's had that a lot too. Conker's Bad Fur Day had that a lot too.
Another rare game.
But then fucking goddamn nuts and bolts. It's just like there's no exploration. It's kind of just like it's not flat exactly. It's just kind of like there's a few hills, but it's not like there's nothing to search for and look for. If you've never seen the popular JonTron about it, I'm sure I showed that to you, right?
Utron?
The Jacktron. He pointed out like the ground controls are fucking phenomenal. Like the ground controls, they hold up extremely well.
Well, maybe it's sort of a situation like, well, maybe people felt sort of similarly when they played this game and they coming off the heels of the first Zelda.
Yeah,
it's just so different that.
And I'm sure there's someone someday, but either your son or my son, that the day that can happen.
Having kids.
Yeah, the day when that happens, that's gonna make a fucking speed run of goddamn Banjo Kazooie with his friend. Oh, it's gonna be so bad.
Well, hopefully we'll both be dead by that time.
I fucking pray. No, but yeah, no, that game is shit. Straight up.
Well,
Poop.
I was gonna say one thing. Looking at a company like Rareware, one thing people give Nintendo a hard time, but one thing they do well is they handle their IPs very.
Nintendo does?
Yeah. They handle them very well. They don't fuck around with that.
You say very. I mean, this might not be. This is. They're very, very touchy about this kind of stuff. They're very protective of their stuff, which is not always a good thing.
Well, it's not even really that they're really. To me, that they're like really protective. Like to me, like being protective would be like releasing like the same Call of Duty game like every year or whatever.
Oh no, yeah, no, I was talking about
because it makes money. Nintendo was more like they just like they won't do something unless they have like a cool idea for it.
I get what you're saying. Like Splatoon though, like Splatoon, that's the new IP that they're trying to make popular. Nobody's liking it. No, I mean the game I guess is great, but it's not like.
I've seen some people who like it.
Yeah, it's not like a mascot, you know what I mean?
Well, I guess that's sort of the chance you take, when you just do stuff.
They're kind of shoving in people's faces like Mario Maker. There's like 6 different costume Marios that are fucking Splatoon related. Regardless, what I was saying was they are very protective of their IPs with like, you don't have to deal with this much, but I have to deal with it a lot. On YouTube, they have a whole Let's Play thing. Have you heard about this?
Like a Let's Play. I don't know. No, I haven't.
It's like a deal, I guess, if you want to call it that. Where if you want to play a game out of a certain list of games, which is like it's all Nintendo made games. If you want to play one of these games, record it and put it online, you have to have a partnership with them, either for your channel or for the specific video. For the video, you lose 40% of your revenue, and for the channel, you lose 30% of your revenue. Say when I release this game, I cannot monetize it because Nintendo will take all the money if I wanted to. All the money I won't make.
All the money we're gonna make.
Yeah. That's the main problem I have with Nintendo. I like a lot of their games, like Mario Maker. I could play until my dick fell off, but like.
Whatever the hell that means.
Whatever the hell that means. But yeah, that's my only real issue with them. They are very protective of their IPs, and they're very smart. There you go. Then they're also very smart with them. Like Miyamoto, when the Wii came out, I don't know if you've ever heard this. Miyamoto, when the Wii came out, he said something along the lines of he was like, we gotta do something different, and they designed Wii with motion controls, which nobody fucking liked. But it's just motion controls. Nobody really likes them, unless you're playing Just Dance. It's not really anything you want to do. And then they came out with the Wii U, and then he just said basically the same idea, and just like, what the fuck are you doing? But then they come out with a game. They sometimes have gems. Nintendo's one of the games that have gems sometimes. It's very rare, but sometimes they have gems, like Mario Maker. Yeah, and I understand that that's just basically re-releasing a game and giving a creative aspect to it. Fucking genius. People love that game. And then the new Zelda game, Breath of the Wild? Breath of the Wind?
Something like that.
Whatever the fuck it's called. It's like adding an open world aspect to a 3D Zelda game, and you could potentially say that is what the 3D Zelda games are. A completely different scale. Like it's open world. Like from what you see, which is probably they're not going to deliver all of this because that's always what they do. But from what you see, you can like kill a pig bad guy, and he'll be holding a stick, and then you kill that pig, and then you can pick up the stick, and then you can fight with that stick, or you could put that stick on your back, or you could do some spell. It looks really amazing. But the issue with that is A, that they're probably not going to deliver, and B, they're not going to let you make Let's Plays of it. That's what people want to do. I mean, they will let you make Let's Plays, don't get me wrong, but they're going to take all your money. So that's my only issue with
But
Nintendo.
is it really about the money?
Yes.